Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for coming to my channel, Day Trading with Crypto Cam. I am Crypto Cam. On this channel, we go over the hottest coins in the crypto space. And we also will give you the short-term and the longer-term perspective as far as what to expect for all my short-term traders and longer-term investors. Before we do that, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and also leave comments. I love comments. And also remember, this is not financial advice. This is just a guide on the chart showing what the charts are suggesting based upon the time frames. So let's go ahead and dive in. Today, we're going to be going over Bitcoin and the God pump. Let's see if the God pump is coming, if it's upon us, or if it's already came and we should expect a little pullback here. So first off, let's go ahead and jump into the hour time frame. All right, so if we go to the hour time frame, I love to chart Bitcoin. Bitcoin basically gives me an indication of what the altcoins are going to do. So then I'll know, coming into my trading thesis, what to expect as far as the alts go because of the correlation. So you can see right here, basically, and this is going to be back in, looks like January. So back in January, I actually already charted BTC. And so this was a bull flag. You got the falling wedge here. And that gave me a breakout, an estimated breakout on Bitcoin. Let me bring this down here. All right, and make this bigger. All right, perfect. So that gave me an estimated measure move when I charted this back in January of about 30,000, right? So I didn't know when the 30,000 was coming, but I knew it was coming, right? And we're on the hour time frame, so I know that the moves may take a little bit longer than typical if you're on a shorter time frame, right? But for anybody who actually follows me, for all of the people that I tutor, and for all of my investors, I always teach the retracement, right? So once you actually have a move play out based upon your technical analysis, like Bitcoin did with this move to 30,000, I always say expect a retrace, right? Is it going to be accurate? Is it always going to play out? No, right? No, nobody's perfect. Nobody has a crystal ball. If they did, they probably wouldn't be on YouTube. They'd be on an island somewhere just chilling, drinking margaritas, right? But the math always plays out most of the time, right? The math is the math. So you can see, even though I charted this several months ago, price basically interjects right with my measured move, right? It's up a little bit, but it's right there. So when I first see that, as far as because I'm a day trader, right? And I trade on the 5-minute time frame, so I do micro trades. Whenever I see price go to my measured move and then stall, that's my indication that the run may be short-lived. So is Bitcoin going to go up? In my opinion, yes. I actually think Bitcoin's going to go to an infinite number just because mathematically the fixed supply versus all the currencies circulating around the world, right? But in the short term, what goes up must come down, and we know that, right? So yesterday, when I was actually charting Bitcoin, and we're going to jump in and go to a smaller time frame now. Let's look at the 5-minute. Okay, so when we looked at the 5-minute time frame, and I actually posted this on my trading view. So if you guys have trading view, I also post ideas on there. So I saw this forming, right? This is a cat ears pattern. Left ear, you got the scalp line, and then you also have the right ear forming. Now you can see price come up and then just break out. So in my opinion, most likely what this was a liquidity grab. Essentially, everybody who was anticipating a short, the market makers already knew what was going to happen. So they ran in the opposite direction. One, to get people to get out of their short positions, and two, to get people to commit to the upside, right? Because now Bitcoin's at 30,000, people are anticipating Bitcoin to keep pumping because it just hit that brand new high, right? But when I saw this breakout, I instantly thought, okay, so it could go higher into this zone, and then I charted it, right? So I charted this right here, and this move from here to here, it's going to be a descending triangle if you look at it, right? It could be a falling wedge, but it looks like a descending triangle to me when I see it, right? So triangles, if you know about triangles, those are continuation patterns, right? They don't always play out, but it suggests that it's going to be a continuation to the upside, right? So if I take the wick from where price started to pump for this flag, and I actually drop it off to the bottom here, and then I drag it at that angle, that 2 o'clock angle. Essentially, you see that's where price goes, right? So price is basing up right here in this vicinity, but this is the key point, and this is what's important. This is the range right here, right? So this is where Bitcoin is having resistance. So if it holds this range and breaks out, you can expect higher momentum, right? So you can expect price to go higher. But if it stalls here and snaps into this zone, doesn't break it, and then starts to retrace, you can expect Bitcoin to come back down. And if it comes back down, then I'm expecting my move that I have to still play out. Because if Bitcoin comes down, you can see that it's still in line with this overall right here, right? So if it comes back down, the pattern actually resumes, and then it can still play out. So I still have 27.33 on the horizon for Bitcoin, and this is on the 5-minute time frame. So I still expect Bitcoin to come down. So whenever I'm trying to make my strategy, whenever I'm trying to figure out what is going to happen, I'm always going to be looking at different charts, different categories, different sectors to help build my argument, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the dollar index, the DXY, because if the dollar index shows that there's a chance that it could be pumping, then that also is going to support my argument that Bitcoin will be dumping as well, right? So let me look at the dollar real quick. Let me see what I see. All right, so yesterday I charted this actual falling wedge because I was anticipating the DXY to pump. It did not, but it actually looks like it just came right back to the bottom of that zone. So 1 second here. All right, so in the short term, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the DXY to break out, right? So if the DXY breaks out from here back into this zone, that should have Bitcoin start its descent to the downside. So that's what I'm expecting. I'm still expecting a pullback here. Could I be wrong? Yes, I actually started shorting Bitcoin at 29,300. And then I added to my short right here in anticipation of the retrace, right? Also, something to keep in mind is this is a very heavy week for news, right? So tomorrow, you have core inflation numbers, you have the overnight, you have the IMF meeting. There's going to be a lot of information that takes place as far as the Federal Reserve, as far as information pertaining to inflation over the next couple of days here, right? So anytime you look, when there's been core inflation, whenever the PPI numbers come out, there's a lot of volatility, right? So expect the next couple of days, Bitcoin may be looking like it's going to pump, but what goes up must come down. And I also teach vector recovery, right? So this is a move straight up. So the faster something goes up, the faster it's going to come down. So just be on the lookout for that for Bitcoin. For the short term, long term, I'm a bull. I've been buying Bitcoin since 2017. I definitely think we're going to have over $250,000 Bitcoin. In my humble opinion, what do I know? I'm just a guy here on the charts. But with that being said, if I do zoom out here a little bit for you to see, you'll be able to see where I have projected moves, right? So my projections for the longer term, because this is a huge flag right here, right? You can see it coming up, you can see it going sideways, and basically it's consolidating in this channel, right? But once this move plays out, so I'm expecting a short dip, fake to the downside, then the pump. So this is the God pump right here. We're going to get like 28, maybe 29, maybe a little bit lower, and then expect a pump to the upside on these measure moves, on these flags, 2 levels of convergence, 36,697. So essentially 37,000. So when Bitcoin pumps to 37,000, that means what all the money flows downhill. So then Ethereum is going to pump, and then after Ethereum pumps, we all know 90% of cryptos are on Ethereum's actual blockchain, right? So expect the alts to rally after that. So that's what I'm expecting on the short term and long term for Bitcoin. If you like my information, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button. Cam Henderson, Steph Curry have court calling it right now. Got pump on the way, 37,000 BTC. As far as how long I think it'll take to play out, oh man, I would say probably next couple of weeks. I think in the next 1 or 2 weeks we're gonna see a major move to the upside for BTC. So stay tuned, hit the like button. Cam Henderson, I'm out. Peace. Thank you for coming to my channel, Day Trading with Crypto Cam. Actually, I don't even like that. Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for coming to my channel, Day Trading with Crypto Cam. I am Crypto Cam. Today we're going to be going over Bitcoin.